Okay. Today's seminar is going to be called, it's not going to be called, today's seminar is called Questions and Answers. However, I'll talk a few minutes before you start asking the questions, just to explain a few things about what's going on in the world. Okay. You can ask any questions you like. There could be personal questions. How can I kill my ex-boyfriend? Or cosmic questions. How the hell do planets stay up there without any support? Okay, any kind of questions. And don't think like, oh, this is too personal, the other people might get bored. Nobody gets bored with personal questions, we love them. Okay, everyone's interested in everyone else's life. So go ahead with your personal questions. Also, we all have the same problems. So yes, take out your personal questions, because sometimes the answers are very, very good for a lot of people, not just you. Okay, for the past 13, 14, maybe 15 years, I've been channeling information from clients' higher self. Higher self is what we call the rest of our soul that is not inside the body. We are our soul though. I don't want people to think, it's not good for us to think that it's me and my soul. We are not two. We are our soul. A small part of our soul comes into the body to experience Earth reality, or whatever planet you're on, to experience that reality. The rest stays outside, and that bit we call the higher self. So when somebody here asks a question, that's who I'm going to get the answer from, your higher self. Many times they will show me answers that I got during sessions, private sessions. Because I've been doing this for many years, so I've done many, many, many sessions, and that's where I've learned most of what I'm going to say today. But it doesn't mean that this is the only way it is. It doesn't mean that this is the right way and this is the only way. Whatever works for you is always the right way. So today we will hear another way, one more way, not the right way, simply one more way. So take from it anything that feels true to you. If it feels true to you, it is for you, it is your truth. If it doesn't feel true to you, ignore it and wait for the next question, because it means it might be for someone else. Okay, we're not here to argue or to disagree. The universe never ever disagrees. I've given so many seminars, and when someone says, when someone is making a statement that things are like this and like this and like this, I feel like all the energy is pulled back and I'm here all by myself, because the universe never disagrees. Never disagrees. It says, okay, whatever, okay. Okay, so make your statement, if you do have a statement, if you do have something to say, make it a question. Make it a question. Like, if I do it this way, will it help me? And that way we can get a better answer, rather than saying, this is how I live my life. The universe will say, okay. Okay, and then I'm here all by myself, looking beautiful, and I've got nothing to say. Okay. Now, let's start with what's going on in the world, and why the world is such a mess. First of all, this mess, this chaos that the world is in, is perfect. Perfect. It couldn't be more perfect, because the world is changing. It's in a transition period. Both the earth and whatever is on the earth, the humans, the plants, the animals, are changing their vibration. We're going up one vibration, one level up. And this transition period is never easy. Never. It always brings upheavals, meaning ups and downs. Always. And this is what's happening now. And the more chaotic something is, that means that that has to change completely. We have a lot of wars on the planet at the moment, because in the new era we are going into, war will not exist. So we need to burn out all that anger we still have inside. Get over it, realize, this is not for us anymore, and then move on to the next level. Injustice. we're going to see more and more injustice in the world as in the next 2 or 3 years. Because that energy will not be able to exist where we're going. We're going into a more balanced energy and a more centered. We're going to be more centered. We're not going to play the roles of opposites. We're leaving polarity, the two opposites, north, south, male, female, good, bad, black, white. We're leaving that energy, and everything's going to be in the center, and we're going to be male and female, north and south at the same time, black and white. I don't mean skin color. I mean what we call dark. We're going to come to terms with our dark side, and we're going to be light and dark at the same time. We will accept our dark parts as well. We won't reject them and say, no, I'm just good. No, I'm more light. I'm more love and light. We're going to also accept our dark parts. And while this is happening, that is why the world is a mess and it looks so unbalanced. And we think it's going to hell, it's going to blow up. It's not. It is perfect. It is poetry in motion. That's what it is. Absolutely perfect. So, and out of this mess, I want to say the word will come peace, but it's too much of a cliche. Out of this mess, we will start finding more of who we really are. Because when everything is okay, we never ask questions. We never ask, who am I? Where did I come from? What the hell am I doing here? And when I leave here and go back, what will I take from here back home? What will I have experienced when I look back? What memories will I have from Earth? These are the questions we need to ask so we can get more of our soul to come into our body, so we can become fully realized beings. That is the ultimate, to express Godness or to express soul in physical reality, but consciously. Because right now we are doing it like zombies. We do everything like unconsciously. And soon we're going to start doing it consciously by knowing who we are, why we are here, and why we have these blockages. When our life doesn't go well, when our relationships don't go well, when our job doesn't go well, when our income, our money doesn't go well, we're meant to look inside and ask questions. We're not being punished, but the soul has discovered that there's no other way humans ask questions. They only ask questions if something goes wrong. So our soul is sabotaging our easy life, so we can ask the question, who am I? Why am I here? The most important questions. That opens up the doors and the soul comes in. We don't need to find out who we are. It doesn't matter. It really, really, really doesn't matter. I remember when I asked many years ago, where did I come from? I didn't get it. Where did I come from? I was asking for about 6 months, I wasn't getting it. So then I gave up. I said, forget it. 2 years later, I saw an image of where I came from. And I said to my soul, now? I asked you 2 years ago. And my soul replies, yes, but if I had shown you then, you would have been so enamored with the glamour, and you would have always been there. Your thoughts would have always been home. And wherever your thoughts go, your energy goes. So if your energy was always back home, you would not be on earth really. And if you're not really on earth, what is the point? Right? And this is why sometimes we might not get an answer of exactly where we are from. But we can still ask the question. It is the questions that are important, not the answers. The questions are more let me rephrase this, sorry. The questions are more important than the answers. It's the questions that open the doors so soul can come in. It's not the answers that open the doors. Okay, the answers actually sometimes close the doors because we say, okay, I know the answer now, I can just sit back and relax. And we don't grow anymore. We don't learn anymore. So don't focus too much on having the answer of exactly where am I from, what am I here for. Just ask the question and leave it. Whenever you remember, I wonder what I'm here for. Right? I wonder why I've attracted this blockage now. In my case, it's easy. Whenever I'm meant to go to the next level, I block money. I don't have money. And then I go, okay, money's easy. So if I don't have it, I'm meant to ask a question. So I sit down and I say, what do you want me to learn now? Or what do you want me to see now? Sometimes it's not necessarily to learn something, it is to stop being in denial of who we are. And your soul will give you a feeling or an image or an answer. It's like a voiceless voice. But as we said, don't focus too much on the answer. Just ask the question, what is it you'd like me to learn now and I'm blocking money? Some people unfortunately get sick so they can learn because they don't ask any questions when they're healthy. So they get sick and then they say, okay, what is life all about now that I'm dying? Right. Others lose their jobs or relationships. So if your blockages are money blockages, you have it easy. Be happy. Be very happy. Because I've had so many clients that lose everything so they can ask. At least some of us only lose money. It's easy. Because you can make money the next day. Sometimes I have sat down and I said, what is it you want me to learn? I kind of got the image that moment. The very next day, I had 10 phone calls for sessions. The very next day. That's how it happens sometimes. Then a few months later, it starts again. I'm like, here we go again. Now what do you want me to learn? Right? Always keep in mind, we are a soul. We are not someone who came here to pay the rent easily. We did not leave the wonders of the universe to come to earth and pay rent. Okay, we didn't do that. So, whenever you see yourself having difficulty either paying rent or buying something, there is definitely something you need to ask. Okay, remember again, I have to repeat this. Sometimes it's not learning more about the universe, but not being in denial. Not being in denial, meaning to accept all of you. To accept all of you. Because we have a little problem here on earth. We think there is good and bad. And because we believe strongly that there is good and bad, we keep saying, I'm good. I'm good. I'm a good person. I work with the light. And that means we are denying our dark side. But we are also the dark. The light, our light side, is only half of who we are. We are also the dark. So sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's simply accepting that, you know what? Yes, I'm also the dark. I'm also the dark. And then you can move on. I'm going to give you an extreme example. This is an extreme example. A few years ago, when I admitted that I was a racist, I grew like 3 years. It's as if all these doors were opening up because I admitted a part of me that I was denying for 40-something years. I was pretending I'm not. Right? I was denying another part of me by admitting that, yes, I'm also a racist. Who's got a problem? That's it. I've accepted another part of me, and now I was more whole. Okay, that's how it is. And then again, doors open up, more soul comes in. Because you cannot say to the soul, I'm only good. The soul says, what the hell is good? Earth is a game. Play it. You're an actor. Play it. You don't see actors in Hollywood saying, I only play good roles. I'm always the good guy. And if you notice, most Oscars go to the actors that played the bad role. Because they believed it. They fully played it. It's easy to be good. Please, just smile. That's easy. But to be bad, now that is acting. Okay, that's when the soul comes in and says, ooh, I'm going to be bad now. Because before we came to earth, Most of us, 99.9999%, come from beautiful love and light places. And after living there for billions of years, we say, I wonder what being bad is like. And someone in the universe, whenever you ask a question, you get an answer. And the answer comes, go to Earth. Okay, and I go, Earth, where's that? Okay, we are at the edge of a galaxy, at the edge of the universe. We are not the center of the universe. So stop complaining that your boyfriend didn't call you. Okay, so then they find Earth and they go, wow, I'm going and I'm going to be a real bitch. Okay, enough of this love and light. I've had billions of years of it. This is what I mean by, we might think this is bad, but the soul wants to experience it all feelings. And then we become more whole, more soul comes in, and we become fully realized beings. And there's nothing like being a fully realized being. You can stop traffic. You can cross the street anywhere you like. You don't have to wait for the red light. Okay, or the green light. I'm Greek, we usually cross with the red light. Okay. Now I think you can ask questions. Any kind of questions again. Okay, I'll keep talking then. Yes, whoever wants to ask a question, please do this first, because as I do this, I'm connecting with your higher self, and I can get the answer from your higher self. Questions?
Yes.
Yes.
You were talking about money.
I was talking about money. I'll be repeating everything.
Okay, yeah.
Because I want to put it on YouTube. I was talking about money.
And my question is, why, I would say, let's say the bad people or the dark people have all the money and power now.
Yes.
At this point of time.
Yes. Okay. First of all, give me a second to explain a few things. Okay. There is no good or bad.
Yeah.
It's something we believe on earth, that there is good and bad. They told us that so they can control us. Because in order to control someone, you need to make them feel guilty. So they say, if we tell them there's good and bad, we say, this is bad, that's bad, that's bad. They'll feel guilty, and then we can control them. Because if they feel guilty, their vibration is very low. And that's how we came up with good and bad in this world. It's a way to manipulate people, just like everybody does it with their children. No exceptions. We do it with our children. You be a good little boy now, so mommy can love you, yes? And then the little boy starts questioning, what is good? And very soon finds out that what mommy wants is good. So we become 40, 50, 60 years old, and we're still trying to please mommy. Right? Because she put it in our DNA from when we were 2, that you be a good little boy so you can get love. If you're not good, you won't get love. And that's why good and bad has worked so well. Right? So we say all the bad people have money right now. Now, you know what we usually call bad? Someone who is totally comfortable with themselves. Someone who is totally comfortable with their likes and dislikes. Someone who knows what they want. And someone who can make quick decisions and doesn't have needs. That's who we call bad. And if you have all those attributes, you can make money much easier. If you're needy, it's difficult to make money because the universe does not have needs. Everything exists. So if you say, I need money, the universe goes, huh? What's that? As for these bad rich people, never say I need money. They say, I want money. I love money. Do you have a problem? And that is what makes them look bad to us. The fact that they are comfortable with money. Right? Then, the dark people. Some of these people who have money do play on what we call the dark side. They do. However, to play on the dark side, you need balls. Okay, if you have balls, it's easy to make money because you make quick decisions. You never doubt. We always doubt. Was that the right move? So money comes to us with a drop, 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 because we are always doubting. Was that the right move? Was that the right move? Was that the right car? Was that the right house? We go to Starbucks and it takes us 3 minutes to order a coffee. We can't even decide for a coffee. As for these bad people, they buy countries in less than a minute. And it takes us 3 minutes for our coffee. It's these things that they have, and they make money quickly. And they do play on the dark side. Some of them, not all of them, by any means, not all of them. So we see them and we say, oh, why do dark people have money? No. Some people that have money choose to play on the dark side. Okay, many people play on the dark side, but because they don't have money, we don't pay attention. We just don't pay attention. Money is energy, so the more you have, the more you blink. Blink, 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 we can see you from far away because you've got all this energy around you. And because we want this energy, we pay attention. If we didn't care much, we simply would not have paid attention. Right? So another reason why a lot of dark people have money, it's the other way around. A lot of people that choose to play on the dark side can make money easy. I think there was one more to your question. One more angle. Did I miss something?
It was about money and power.
Money and power. Okay. What would you like to ask on that subject?
I mean, if we take a look at politicians at the moment,
yes,
who have a lot of power,
yes,
or executives in companies who have a lot of power,
yes,
and misuse this power,
okay,
maybe for I would say bad things,
okay,
or yeah, bad.
Okay. First of all, very, very, very few of these executives misuse their power. They are simply taking care of their company. And we see that as abuse of power. But all they're doing is taking care of their company. Their job is to make their company grow at all costs. If you don't like it, leave. Leave the company. Go work somewhere else. You have free choice. Companies are not there to make people comfortable. Companies are there to grow. A company has a soul, just like a human has a soul. The word corporation in Latin means body of. A company is a body of a soul. And that soul says, I want you to grow. I want you to help me grow. And this is what these executives do. They focus all of their energy, all of their attention on making the company grow at all costs. Now, we might think, oh, this is evil, this is bad, but you know what? Even companies do have karma. A lot of companies go out of business if you unbalance the energy. So, if these companies are thriving year after year after year, I think we are looking at them from a different perspective. Because if these companies are growing for so many years, they cannot be imbalancing the energy. If they were imbalancing the energy, they would go broke. 1 in 2 companies actually do go broke in the first, I think, 5 years of existence, because there is something there that's unbalanced. And a lot of these corporations have psychics, and they have people who communicate with other dimensions to get information. A lot of these executives call in the psychic and they ask, what does my company want from me? They ask these questions. Questions that we never ask about our jobs or our businesses. We just go to work to pay the rent. These so-called dark executives, they go to work because that's their life. They live it, they breathe it. They are their company. So their company helps them get to the top. But if you're going to work and you're a good person, and you're paying the rent, and you're taking care of your family and everything, and you don't give a damn about the company won't kick you out. It simply won't promote you. It simply won't say, oh, I need you at the top. I don't need you at the top. Stay down there at the bottom. I need someone at the top that takes charge and that cares about me. The company should be like a mistress. For if you're working in the company, it has to be your mistress. It has to be your number one. Right? There's this banker from another country that calls me at least once a week. When he started calling me for information, in the bank, he was number 8. Now he's number 4. And he's working to get to number 3. In the beginning, I thought I was channeling his higher self. And I'm like, why would his higher self care so much for him to move up? And then I noticed I wasn't channeling his higher self. I was channeling the bank. The bank wanted him to move up because the bank knows that he cares about this, about banking. We call banking evil. Hey, the bank doesn't care. Call me whatever you like. Just call me. That's what it says, right? And then I realized after a few months that I was getting information from the bank. It was the bank that wanted him to move up. He's at number 4 now, and the bank is telling him, get ready for number 3. Right? And he asked just 4 or 5 days ago, what's going to happen to number 3 now? And the bank answers, what do you care? Let me take care of that. Right? That's how companies work. It's like, it's none of your business. I want you on number 3. Because I want your decisions. I want your focus. He focuses. His bank, the bank he works for is his life. That's who the bank wants. And it will make him number 1. It will eventually make him number 1. That's how corporations are. That's how business is. No matter how small, you could just have a business out of your kitchen. You need to ask it every now and again, what do you want from me? What can I do for you? And don't say things like, I've started this business to pay the rent, to pay the bills. Don't say things like that. It's like telling your girlfriend or boyfriend, let's say boyfriend. It's like telling your boyfriend, I just want you to change the light bulbs because I can't reach up there. How much longer do you think your boyfriend will stay? It's something like that. Or it's like telling your girlfriend, I just want you for sex. How much longer do you think your girlfriend will stay? That's how we treat our businesses. That's how we treat our jobs. I just want you to pay the bills. I'm not in it for the money. And then the money says, okay, I'll go somewhere else. Money is an energy. Money is a living, breathing entity. So if we keep saying, I don't want you for the money. I'm not doing this for the money. The money says, oh, okay. Here's a little bit so you won't starve, and I want to go somewhere else. And those dark people that you mentioned, they say, I'm doing this for the money. I'm doing it for the money. And the money goes to them. I know it sounds funny, but you know what? The universe is funny. It really is. The universe is weird. The universe will give you what you want. Everything you want. Whatever we have is because that's what we want. We deny it. We say, no, I don't want that. Yes, you do, because you're always thinking about it. The way I understood the universe many years ago when I first got into this, and they were saying, you can have whatever you want. And all the books were saying that. And I was asking, how? And then one book explained it very well. The universe is like a big supermarket. You go in, it gives you a trolley, and it says, get whatever you want. And you say, how am I going to reach up there? It has very tall shelves sometimes. How am I going to reach that up there? And they say to you, just think about it. It will fall into your trolley. That's all. That's how the universe works. Our thought brings things into our trolley. So we might say, but I don't want to be sick, but then why do you keep talking about it? I don't want to be poor, so then why do you keep talking about it? You never say, I want to be healthy, and I want to be rich, and I want to be beautiful. You think those words are selfish. So we don't say that. So we have what we think about, what we talk about. We always say, I don't want to get sick. I can't go to another country because I don't have insurance. What if something happens? And then that something happened. By saying, what if something happens? That falls into our trolley. And then it's in our aura. Our trolley is our aura. It stays in our aura until you go to that country, and then it says, oh great, she's here. I can make her sick now. Right? So everything we have asked for. Everything. Every little thing. So think about it and say, if I've got this, I've asked for it. Let me stop thinking about this. And then that's it. And start thinking of what you do want. Only what you do want. And then you'll get only what you want. We will get only what we want. So yes, don't worry too much about the dark people having money and power. They're really not... Okay, look, let's see the bigger picture, okay? You might say, okay, first I have to explain something else. Earth is a multi-dimensional game. There are many games being played. There are many games being played on Earth at the same time. Sorry. There are many games being played on Earth at the same time. It's not just one. Because we are stuck in the game of survival, we think there's only one game on Earth, to survive. But many people that have gone beyond the game of survival play different games. They play the games of control. They play the games of manipulation. They play the games of, let's see how many people I can get to believe that this lie is actually truth. And then they go, oh, look at me. I managed to get 5 billion people to believe that Jesus died on the cross. They play those games. Now, you might say America's going to Iraq killing people. It's actually not America, it's people behind the government. Some of them happen to be American, but they're not all American. Usually these people who play these top games don't have a nationality. Nationality doesn't mean anything to them. They understood that they have come to Earth to experience something they cannot do back at their home. So they go all out. They go to party. Okay. Now, you might say America's killing people in Iraq. The people that are actually doing this, killing people in Iraq or Afghanistan or wherever, of course it doesn't look good, but those people look at the bigger picture. Every single year in the world, 6 million people die from smoking. 6 million, not 6 million. So, if I want to go to Iraq and kill 3, 4, 5,000, it's nothing. In 10 years, 3 or 4, 5,000. So I can get whatever Iraq has. They're not there for the oil, by the way. There's some ancient alien technology there. And if they can get their hands on it, they can really control the world. And that's why they're in that area a lot. But that's a whole other seminar. Now, but we don't mind that 6 million people die every year from smoking cigarettes. That doesn't bother us. But if one dies of drugs, oh my God, drugs are really bad. Somebody died last night. Did you hear? That's how these people look at the world. They simply see the bigger picture, and we don't. Or we don't want to. Because when they show us, we say, oh, now, you're bad. You're just bad. So next time you see these mean, dark people playing these mean, dark games, also look at the bigger picture. And see from their perspective. We're not saying this is right. There is no right or wrong. But that's how they make things logical. They go, yeah, okay, I killed 3,000 in Iraq. In the time it took me to kill 3,000 in Iraq, 60 million died from smoking. I think in the first 10 years, 3,000 Americans died in Iraq. They only count the American dead, they don't count the Iraqi dead, because their life is not worth as much as an American life, of course. So, in 10 years, I think 3,000 Americans died. In 10 years, in America alone, 4 million died from smoking. 4.8 million. Every year in America, 480,000 die from smoking. That's just smoking. We're not counting all the other things we do. So when you see it that way, you say, I'm not that bad. I'm just a little bad. And they continue with their game with this confidence. And they look at us like, oh, you're just idiots. You don't care about yourself. You give me the power to do what I want because you don't care about yourself. If you cared about you, the energy would change and there would be no energy for me to play these games. But because we don't care about us, we create an energy of like, do whatever you like, I don't care anyway. And then they have the okay, and they do whatever they like. So we don't have to go and kill these people who play these games. We don't have to go and put people in jail who steal money from banks. We don't mean the bank robbers, we mean the CEOs of the banks, right? We don't have to kill the people who kill people. There's a very good saying in America. Why do we kill people who kill people to show that killing people is wrong? It's something like that. We don't have to. If we want to change the game, all we have to do is start liking us and start caring about us, because this changes our aura. It changes the vibration. It raises our vibration. And then no matter where we are, we little by little start changing other people's vibration as well. We don't actually change it, but what happens is their aura looks at ours and says, oops, and it reminds them that they too can care about themselves. They too can be free. Because someone who cares about themselves automatically starts going into freedom. And then we change other people just by being free and by caring about who we are, caring about ourselves, which we mainly don't. And the reason we don't care about ourselves is because we live in the hope that someone else will care about us. We want the prince to come off the white horse, get on his knees and say, I will love you forever and ever and ever. This is one of the biggest reasons we don't care about us. We're just waiting and hoping someone else will. So once we realize that no one is ever going to care about us, because we are gods, we are not victims, we change our vibration, then we start caring about us, and then we change the world. We don't change the world by fighting, we don't change it by voting, we don't change it by demonstrating in the street or breaking windows. We don't. That's how we give our power to those people that run the world. Those, as you said, dark or corrupt people that run the world. By saying you're bad, you're bad, you're bad, we are giving them our power. Then they have more power. All we need to do is start caring about us, start loving us, and that's it. Game over after that. Okay, next question. Yes?
Still for the money blockages, I would like to add the personal point of view and ask exactly that question. What is it that you want me to learn?
Okay, now we are, again, about the money blockages. You want to make it a personal question and ask, what is it you want me to learn? Okay, I'm afraid I won't be able to give you the answer like this. Probably the answer is more than one thing. You are going to have to sit down somewhere quietly. There's no need to meditate or have crystals and candles all over the place. I usually do it when I'm having coffee, because coffee is my sacred moment. So I usually do it then. I've got my coffee cup and I quieten my mind and I say, okay, what is it you want me to learn now? The funny thing is, at least 3 or 4 times, I did not get an answer, I did not get a feeling, but the next day things changed. So I have to say, sometimes you just don't get an answer. And that's when I started realizing that the question is more important than the answer. Because I'm like, hang on a minute, I asked yesterday, but I didn't get an answer. I still don't have an answer. I think it is, but I only think, I'm not sure about this. I think it is because we are multidimensional beings. We exist in many dimensions, many realities. And I think somewhere in there, they got the answer. So maybe we asked for another part of us, somewhere else. Your soul doesn't just have you, it has many yous, in many different bodies, in many different timelines. See, all time exists at the same time. The year 1910 is not necessarily before 1920. Imagine a big wheel of a cart, those cowboy carts, okay? The big wooden wheel with the center in the middle, the spikes, and then the wheel around it, right? The wood around it. That wood around it is time. the center, the core of this wheel is the soul. And the soul says, I want a part of me in 1700s, a part of me in 1820, a part of me in 1900, and those spikes are our lives. Because we think that time is linear, meaning we believe that Monday comes after Sunday, and Tuesday always comes after Monday. We think that a past life is actually a life we have lived and it's finished. But for the soul, it's not like that. All lives are being lived simultaneously, at the same time. So you can have a memory from a future life as well. But because our brain cannot hold that, we focus more on the past lives. And we say, I got this from a past life. But sometimes a client will lay down on the couch and I'll say, we need to ask your soul, where does this problem come from? So we ask the soul, where did I get this from? And the client will say, it feels like a past life, but it's too modern. It can't be a past life, it's just too modern. More modern than what we are now. But of course, at that time, I can't explain to the client that all time exists at the same time, yada, yada, yada. So I just say to the client, it's probably another planet, don't worry. Right? And the client goes, oh, okay, I've got it from another planet. Right? But it's really not another planet, it is future Earth. Right? And the funny thing is, after we deal with it, the client will say something like, but it looked just like Earth, that other planet. Right? But it's just that I just don't have time to explain it, because sometimes I don't even understand it fully, how all time exists at the same time. Right. So yes, by you asking the question, why am I blocking money right now? If you don't get an answer, you might be helping another part of you somewhere else. Either the past or the future. Right? Now, because Earth is in a transition period right now, our soul is mostly focused in this life. So many souls will call this particular life my dominant reality. It simply means I'm focused there. I can see all the others, yes, but my central focus is right there right now. And they call it my dominant reality. So whatever you change in your dominant reality, you will affect all the other realities that you exist in. Past, future, other vibrations, other dimensions, other planets. Sometimes it's not necessarily another planet, it's another dimension on Earth. Earth is also multidimensional. It exists in many dimensions. And we have a part of us in every dimension. But it looks alien because it's different to here. And we think the aliens are here. They're not aliens, they're Earthlings. They just crossed over from their reality into yours. I know it's a little bit of a headache, I know. I've had that headache for years, trying to figure it out. Just leave it at the back of your mind. However, I'm really sorry I can't just tell you right now what is it that you're blocking. You know what? Because as we said before, the answer is not that important, the question is. The question is, accept the fact that money is meant to be easy, because when we created this universe, we meaning when we were still all one, when we were still all God, we're still all one. It's just that our ties now are etheric and we can't see them with these eyes, and we think we're separate, but we're not. We're still all one, right? But when we were literally still all one, before the Big Bang, we said, let's create a universe. The first energy we got from another universe to come to this one was the energy of abundance, the energy of plenty. Because we wanted to create. This is why in so many religions, God is called the Creator. Because this God, she wanted a creative universe. One that always creates, constantly creates. And the first energy we bought is the energy of abundance. On Earth, the energy of abundance, scrap that. On Earth, money is the incarnation of the energy of abundance. The physicality of abundance on Earth is money. It's simply something we need to exchange energy. In the universe, there is always an exchange of energy. Always, 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 without exceptions. They don't use money, but there is an exchange of energy. In our world at this moment, because before money we had something else, we use mainly money for exchange. So see money as the incarnation of the energy of abundance. And abundance is plenty. Plenty, plenty. Okay. Could somebody say the German word for abundance?
Überfluss.
Okay, that's what abundance is. The energy of plenty. So if you see money as the energy of plenty, you will understand that, but we live in a plentiful universe. Money should always be there. So if it's not, my soul is blocking it. If my soul is blocking it, it wants me to learn something. Or it wants me to see something about me. Or it wants me to start asking questions, because I never ask questions. If everything goes well, I don't need to ask questions. There's a saying in America, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. That's how we are. If something's not broken, we don't ask a question. So our soul breaks things up, and then we start asking questions. Okay, so know that if you don't have, know as in you know that if you don't have money, you're meant to ask a question. It's not because you're doing something wrong. It's not because you're a bad business person. It's not because you're being punished. The universe will never do something that's stupid. That's just stupid, stupid, stupid. And the universe is an intelligence. It doesn't do stupid things like punish people. So don't think that you're being punished. Don't think it's bad karma. It's simply you are attracting this to force yourself to ask different questions. Different questions. And if you go there, sometimes you don't need to ask the question. Simply say, what am I meant to ask now? What does my soul want me to learn now? Just that. And that's enough to open the doors. Okay, you will literally feel like doors opening here. And then another one, and then another one, and then it's like, sometimes your breath stops because so much energy comes in. You have one of these aha moments. It's like someone turned on all the lights at the same time. And this doesn't stop though. I'm afraid it doesn't stop. I've been in this game for like 14 years now. As soon as I learn one thing and I relax, a month later something else comes up. Okay, it doesn't stop. Why? This energy we call God is still growing. So if that bitch is still growing, you're never going to stop. You have a long way to go. Okay, everything is still growing. If something stops growing, it dies. It dies. This is why when we see people that are settled in a nice marriage, supposedly nice marriage, nice home, nice car, nice job, you look into their eyes and it's like, hello, is anyone home? There's no one there. They're dead. They're dead. Only because they settled. They stopped growing. Only because they stopped growing. So be happy that you have problems, because it means you're still growing. The very first seminar I ever went to, actually I think it's the only seminar I ever went to, because I have to admit, seminars bore me. The first one I went to, this guy showed us something. I only remembered one thing from that seminar. And 15 years later, I'm still remembering it. He put a chair in front of him on stage, and he said, you're walking, you're going somewhere. There's an obstacle here. If there is an obstacle in front of you, that means you're actually going somewhere. Don't complain. Don't complain. Because if there's no obstacles in your life, it means you're not going anywhere. You've just stopped. And I remembered that from then, and I never complained again. Never. I just said, okay, let's see what I'm learning from this. Because this always reminds me that, you know what, I'm going places. If there's obstacles in front of me, I'm going places. I always think of that, and that way I don't complain about the obstacle, about the blockage, or about the lack of money, about not enough. Because it really means I'm going somewhere. So see it that way, and be lucky, feel lucky, not be lucky, feel lucky that you actually do have problems. Because it means you're growing. Okay. Another question? You know what? We said, let me tell a little story. I said earlier, in the universe there is always an exchange of energy. I had this client on the couch. We were doing astral traveling. We went back home. I said, let's go back home, where you were before you came to Earth. And he goes, oh my God, I'm from another universe. And I'm like, oh God, I have another crazy one. Okay, just pretend, Eric. I go, really? And what's that like? It's all information. We don't have bodies. We are just information. We're just logic. We are just intelligence. And I'm like, what is it like not having bodies? It's great. And I go, how do you separate yourself from the rest of the information? Well, we all have a little niche, a little like, I'm responsible for this information, and I become that information. And then I can spread that information around. I'm like, okay, and why did you come to Earth? Well, we were thinking on our home, how can we make information travel even faster? We checked the entire existence, and eventually we discovered that emotions can make information travel up to 10 times faster. So we thought, emotions, what the hell is that? We were just information. So we kept looking for emotional realities, and we found Earth. So I came to Earth. By then I stopped thinking he's crazy and I started listening. And I said, and then what happened? He goes, wow. I go, what? Earth and God are, excuse me. So I said Earth, I'm sorry I made a big mistake. So we found this universe, that is the universe of emotions. So I came to this universe of emotions. And I said, and then what happened? And then he goes, oh wow. What? God and the universe are one. They're not separate. They don't separate. They're one. By then I got goosebumps and I started listening more. I go, and then what? Well, I'm talking to this God universe thing, which is one. Yes, and then what? And I said, I want to come in there. And this God universe replies, what for? I want to learn from your emotions. And then this God universe says, and what do I get out of this? We would think God would say, of course my child, come in. No, God said, and what do I get out of this? I'm going to let you in my universe, but I'm going to get something. It's not free. Imagine there is always an exchange of energy. And then I said, what did you say? What I said to this God universe was, you will emotionalize my information, and I will informationalize your emotions. And then I hear this, something opened up, and I went in. I go, and then what? I found myself on Earth. God says, you want emotions? I'll show you. Go to Earth. Right? There is always an exchange of energy in the universe. Always, always, always. So see money as something we use to exchange energy. See money as energy. Money is energy. See it as energy. And when you get paid from your clients, if you get paid in cash, right? Don't let your clients leave the money on the table. It's not dirty. Take it into your hand. And if you have the balls, put it on your heart chakra and say, I make money very easy. Because all the money in the world is one energy. This is why we say much money. We can't say many money. We say many when you can separate things into individuals. Otherwise you say much, like water. You can't separate water into something individual. It's all the same. So we say much water, too much water. Money is exactly the same. You can't separate this note from this note. It's exactly the same. So when you put your money on your heart chakra after you get paid and you say, I make money very easily, all the money in the world knows that you make it easily. and it will come to you easily. Right? No matter what currency it is. But if you look at it and say, I worked 8 hours for this, you've programmed all the money in the world to come to you after work, after hard work. So never say phrases like, I work hard for my money. Never. I make money very easy or easily, so that all the money will know that you make it easily. Next question. And then we'll go on a little break. Go ahead, honey. Be brave.
No, I have to remember what I wanted to ask. Yeah, because of the dimensions, but not the time dimensions.
Yes.
You spoke before.
Yes.
I mean the dimensions like third and
fourth and fifth.
And then it's
okay.
One, everything is one time. My,
brain.
Human brain.
Yes.
Cannot.
Okay, I've explained that I think other times in seminars. I'll do it once again. So what you want to know is, how do dimensions exist next to each other? Okay, is that a good question? Or can you explain me these dimensions? Is that what?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you explain me these
can
dimensions? Yeah, that's the for me.
Can you explain me these dimensions? Right. I'll tell you how they explained it to me, and I understood it right away. We have radio stations. All the radio antennas, all the radio frequencies exist in the same space. And depending on where you tune the radio to, that's the one you're going to pick up. But they're all here next to each other. And you're picking up only one. You are in the frequency of that radio station. But the other ones do exist. But while you're focusing on that one radio station, that's the only thing that exists for you. That one radio station. But it doesn't mean that the rest aren't in the same room. They are. You just have to change your frequency. So right now, scientifically speaking, we are in the third dimension. But numbers don't mean anything, I think. I'm not sure. I think in this situation, numbers don't mean anything. But we call our reality the third dimension. And right now we're going to the fifth. I'll explain the fourth in a moment. Right now we're going to the fifth. So we are changing the frequency of the radio that we live in to another station called the fifth dimension. And as whenever you change the radio dial, don't you hear like all these things that don't make sense? That's where we're at now. This is why our world is not making sense now. This is why we cannot make sense of it. Because we're in between radio stations and everything is happening at the same time until we get to that one. Right? That's how dimensions are. They all exist. Over here, there's like, 10 people? But there could be a lot more. They're just in a different frequency. Or there might be a train station right here in a different frequency. We don't see it. Right? That's how dimensions are. Simply different frequencies. And the one we focus on is the only one we can see. Right. Now, we said the third dimension, and now we're going to the fifth. What happened to the fourth? The fourth dimension is just like the third, except we know more. We know we are not alone in the universe. We know that I'm not my body. I have a body, but I'm a soul. We know we have angels. We know we have guides. We know we have a higher self, like a soul. We know we are a soul. We know we came from somewhere else. That's the fourth dimension. So what it is just like the third, but you simply know. You are not asleep. You're starting to wake up. That's what the fourth dimension is. And the fourth dimension and the third can coexist totally without bothering each other. As you go to the fifth dimension, though, you don't simply know things. Those things exist in your space. You sit down and you talk to your angels and your guides like we are talking right now. And you see them. Right? Just like we see each other right now. That's the fifth dimension. That's where we're going. We will be talking to other worlds and working with them. And getting information from them. And learning. They will be giving us information that we don't know, and we will be giving them the feeling of our experience. See, when we astral travel or when we meditate, we go to all these beautiful worlds of love and light. And we say, oh, they're so beautiful. Why can't Earth be like that? And all those realities of love and light say, oh, why can't we be like Earth? Right? Why? Love and light is beautiful, but totally boring. Why? Because in love and light, you live forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. That gets so boring. But because here we don't live forever, everything here is limited, we try and do everything at the same time. And that's what makes it exciting. And we get feelings from our failures. They never have failures over there because they know everything. They never make mistakes over there. They know everything. So they're like, I wonder what it feels like to be stupid. Right? They're connected to infinite intelligence. So they're never stupid. Never. And they're looking at us like, oh my God, did you see what she just did? Oh my God! Right? We, Earth, is a reality show for other planets. That's not my line, I got that on Facebook. Okay. Earth is literally a reality show for other planets and other dimensions and other realities. So that's why they want to come and say, how did that feel? How did it feel? I was living in New York for a while, totally broke. I mean, so totally broke, I had 6 hours left of the hotel and then I was going to be homeless. That's how broke. It was February. New York is like freezing in February. And I'm like, okay, how am I blocking money? My last 6 hours, I lie on the bed, I go, higher self, get your ass down here. How the hell am I blocking money? And I hear this nice, soft, ironic voice. You're not blocking it. I go, bitch, stop that and tell me how I'm blocking my money. I'm going to be homeless in 6 hours. You're not blocking it, you're just learning. What am I learning? And then I see an image of me going back home, dying from Earth and going back to where I was before I came to Earth. Everybody was there, waiting for me. He's like, oh, he's coming back, he's coming back. So she, I don't know what kind of body I have there. So I go and they were looking at me like, what happened? So I started explaining Earth, what happened. And they were looking at me like, and this little one, I don't know if it was just short or if it was a child, comes up to me and pulls me from my t-shirt and says, we know what happened. We saw it on TV. We want you to tell us how you felt while it was happening. And then I got a flash that I'm going to be homeless in 6 hours, so I will know how it feels. So when I go back home, I can tell them what that feeling is like. They don't want to know that we are homeless sometimes. They want to know, how does it feel to be homeless? Because they don't have those issues there. They don't. They just don't. You know, survival is not a part of their game. It's not. It's part of the Earth game. And that's how I understood why I was going through that. I got out of bed. A friend called me from San Francisco. Before New York, I was living in San Francisco. A friend called me from San Francisco. She goes, hi Eric, is everything okay there? I go, no, I know. And she goes, do you need some money? Yes. I'll go put it in your bank account right now. She went and put it in my bank account. And I was okay after that. Right? It's little things like that. It's just the experience. We are going to take experiences back home. Experiences we can't have there. That's why here we are mean, we are bad, we are evil, we are everything. Here on Earth, we came to experience everything we cannot do back home. You can't slap someone back home. And I love doing that. So I came to Earth. You can't be a bitch back home. And I love doing that. So I came to Earth. You know. And so just experience everything. And take the feeling when you're experiencing it. Don't do it unconsciously. When you're having coffee, have a coffee. Sit down, and for that moment, it's just you and your coffee. No one else. And that way you're taking the experience consciously. and then you can take it back home. There's another thing, when we have problems, we always try to solve the problem. We always try to fix it, always try to change it, and we don't learn from it. Because we're so focused on changing it, we don't learn anything. So then it comes back again next year or next month, because we did not learn. So instead of focusing on changing the problem or fixing it, focus on, I wonder why I attracted this now. What does this have to teach me now? Focus on that. And that way you will get what it has to give you, and it won't come back. It just won't come back again. Okay. Who's going to start first? Yes.
I have a question. Now we're talking about human souls, mainly.
We talk about human souls mainly, yes.
And what about animal souls? Because I have in mind animal soul, they also want to experience something. But does a cow really want to experience to come here and live 2 weeks, get killed to be eaten?
Okay, a cow doesn't live 2 weeks before we eat her. She lives quite a few months. Because we like them big and fat. Okay. Some people or some religions think that we come as animals first, and then we evolve up the ladder, and then we become humans, and then something else. That might be so. I just haven't seen it like that. But maybe I haven't seen it because I don't really care about animals, so I don't look into their soul or whatever. However, I have had a couple of clients who asked their soul, have we ever been an animal? And the soul said, another part of us is always an animal. But this part that's in you, no. Right. Now, let's explain the soul for a moment. Sorry. Imagine a large diamond, cut with many facets. This is the soul. We are only one facet of this diamond. There's many parts of us. There's many parts to our soul. And some of these facets incarnate as animals or plants. But personally, I don't think it's the same facets that incarnate as human. But then again, I could be totally wrong. Maybe they do. Maybe we incarnate as, like the Indians think, we first incarnate as animals and then we incarnate as humans. Because I have met some humans that I swear in the last life they were a chimpanzee. Right. So maybe it is like that. I just haven't seen it, and both times when a client asked, both times their soul said, other parts of us, yes, but not the part that goes in you. Okay, that's all I can tell you about animal souls, because there are other psychics that can tell you much, much more, because they work with animals. Right? What I do know, though, is that the soul of the animal is no different to the soul of the human. It's no less of a soul. That I do know. But I don't know if we, or if the part that goes into the human body has been an animal before. Maybe. Also, a lot of religions think that we come as animals and then we go up. Who said that humans is up? I've seen animals that are much more intelligent than humans. Much, much. So, you know, why do we think that humans are more intelligent than animals? Animals can do things we can't. Like they talk telepathically. We can't. Yeah. So I couldn't give you more detailed information because I don't know it. And because I don't work with animals, I haven't learned. I haven't learned. I just work with people with businesses. And that's why I've learned about their souls more. Okay.
But,
yes.
What about eating animals?
What about eating animals? What is it you want to ask? If it's good or not.
Yes.
Okay. Because there's no
does
good...
Does an animal want to be eaten?
I don't think an animal would want to be eaten, no. I don't think so. Because there's no good or bad, every time I promote vegetarianism, I always say do it for health reasons. Because there really is no good or bad. So I don't want to go into the moral aspect of it. And I always say do it for health reasons. You're much healthier if you're a vegetarian. Much, much, much healthier. You'll live longer, your skin is better, you breathe better, you feel lighter. So I always use those attributes to promote vegetarianism or veganism, right? But I don't know if the animal wants to be eaten. I really don't think so, but I don't want to go there because it's a whole different can of beans. And it's different, it's just different. I don't want to go there. I would say for your health, be vegetarian. It's actually better to be vegan for your health. Okay, do it for your health and to live much, much longer. Another question? That's it with questions? Yes. Give me 1 second. Yes, yes, go ahead.
I have a personal one.
Yes.
How do I get into the doing modus? To explain what I mean is, in 99%, I ask a question, I get the answer, so I have knowledge. But, you know, I don't,
you don't get off your ass.
Prevents me to fulfill my knowledge, or to, if I get the information, do this or make this, or don't do anything.
So, how do I get from knowing to doing?
Yeah.
Okay. The biggest reason most of us don't start doing is because we are terrified of failure, in case we fail, in case it goes wrong. That's the biggest reason. So if you can let go of the fear of failure, then you can much easier go into the mode of doing and start doing. Now, in most cases, we are so afraid of failure because in other lives, where we lived in more dangerous times, if we did something wrong, we died, or we starved, or someone else died, sometimes our children. And that's why we are so afraid of failure, and our body keeps saying, be careful, be careful, be careful, all the time. Okay, Earth is a vibrational game. Imagine a chessboard with little squares. Okay, you're in one square when you die, when you leave the chessboard, when you leave the Earth game. When you want to come back, you have to come back from the same square you left. Right? You can't come back from a whole different square because you'll be lost. You have to come from the vibration you left. So as you come back into the same vibration that you left, the body picks up all these memories and it goes into the cells of the body, and that's why we call it cell memory. The memory is in the cells, it's not in my brain, but what happens is, because the brain has more than 50% of the body's cells, we feel like it's in the brain, that these memories are in the brain. But that's only because that's where most of our cells are, and that's why we feel like it's in the brain. So, let's say last life you died because you did something stupid. You come in from the same square on the chessboard, which Earth is like a chessboard, it's a game. You come in, and you start remembering, and your body keeps saying, don't, be careful, hey, don't, no, don't take any risks, no, right? And this is why we're so afraid, in case we fail. So what I keep seeing from client after client after client, their higher self will say, whenever you have this fear of failure, put your hand on your heart chakra and say to your body, this is simply past life memory. In this life, we are safe. We meaning you and the body. Because see, you're not the body, you are the soul. Okay, so by saying we are safe, in this life we are safe, that's it. And little by little, if you do that 2 or 3 or 4 times, the fear of failure will go lower and lower and lower, and then you can take risks. Then you will take risks. And then you're not afraid of anything. Okay. Where was I going with this? Hang on, fear of failure. Oh yes, when you say in this life we are safe, after that don't say in this life we're not going to die, or in this life no one else will die. You're focusing on the negative. Don't focus on that at all. Okay, because then you'll get it. Simply, in this life we are safe, and leave it at that. Program your body that in this life you're safe. Don't mention death, don't mention illness, don't mention the things that you don't want to experience. Just in this life we are safe. That's it. And then you'll start taking risks much easier, because your body won't be saying, be careful. Okay. I just thought of something else while I was saying this. Quite a few people that lost money doing business came and asked, why did I lose my money? And their soul replied, I wanted you to learn what not to do for when we have more later. Okay, so sometimes we lose our money so we can learn to know for later when we have more money. I was living in San Francisco during the dot-com rush, when these big companies were starting and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And they were going out of their way to hire people that had businesses that failed, because they know what not to do. If you've never failed, how would you know what not to do? You have no idea. How do you know what works if you've never failed? And these companies now are massive. They're taking over the world. It's those little things. We never think like that. We always think of success, 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 success. No, 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 no. Success can come after failure. That's when success can really be big. So a lot of times I've seen a lot of clients that lost their money so that they'll know what to do later when they have more money. If they never lost it, they wouldn't know what to do. And instead of losing 3 million, they'll lose 300 million. And then it's a big ouch. You know, losing 3 million is nothing. Imagine losing 300 million. Try living with that. Another thing about money. We talked a lot about money this time, but it's everybody... hang on. Money, money, money. God, I sound like ABBA. Money. You lost it now. My favorite one. This was in Turkey. This client had money, not as much as he wanted. And he says, before he lied down and we called his higher self, he says, I can see money. It's always in front of me. And when I go to get it, it's not there. I lose it. I'll either miss the opportunity or I miss I didn't get the company that I wanted to get. All those things. Why? Why does this happen to me? And I go, I don't know, let's ask. So I lie him down, we ask his soul, and his soul says, soul says to me, ask him, what is he going to do with the money once he gets it? So I said, what are you going to do with a lot of money once you get it? I'm going to help my mother, I'm going to buy an apartment for my father, I'm going to help my brother, I'm going to help my sister, I'm going to help all my family. And his soul says, that's why he's not getting it. Because he's going to help other people and he's going to take away their lessons. And those people have come here for lessons, not for his money. So those people go to his soul and say, hey, if you make money, you're going to take away my lessons. And his soul says, don't worry, I'll take care of it. So it blocks him from making a lot of money. He does make money, but it's not enough for him to give to the family and help the family and buy houses for the family. Because then the family will lose their lessons. So that's another reason we don't make money. We go to help people right away with our money. Because we need to be loved. We need people to say, oh, you're such a good daughter. Thank you so much for this house in Beverly Hills. It looks so nice. I live right next to Jennifer Lopez. And there go her lessons. There goes Mummy's lessons. Just because Mummy is 60, it doesn't mean she's not learning. She's actually learning more than we are. Because now she has more perspective. Now she has experience. As for we're still young and beautiful, and we don't have, but we see things differently. Right? So also keep that in mind. Don't think I'm going to make money to help my family. Even children. Just because they're your children does not mean you need to give them things. We're not talking about 3 and 4 years old, okay? We're talking about over 18. Okay. It doesn't mean you have to give your children houses or pay for their college. Let them pay for it. And if your child's soul wants to learn lessons and your money will take away the lessons, your higher self will make sure you lose the money. So also keep that in mind. Everybody, Earth is a school. You might say, why do their lessons come first? Because Earth is a school. Earth is a university. And lessons always come first. and your money comes second. Right? Lessons always come first. So when you think of making money, think of you only. Think of you only. Now, this doesn't mean if your mother comes and asks for money, you will say no. You can say no if you want to. But the second law in the universe is ask and you shall receive. So if someone asks you for money, you don't take away their lessons because they asked you. If your child asks you for money, we're talking about adult children, okay? Not little babies, the adult children. If your child asks you for money, you won't take away his or her lessons. They asked you. It's the second law in the universe. Then give them the money. Only what they asked for, not more. Only what they asked for, so that you won't imbalance the energy. Now, you might say, my brother's very proud. He'll never ask for money, but I know he needs it. Do you think maybe he's very proud so that he won't ask for money and he can learn his lessons? So don't think, oh, my brother's very proud. He'll never ask. I should give him money because he will never ask. If he never asks, he's not meant to have it. He's not meant to have it. So let him go through the lessons that he's going through. So when you think of making money for you, only for you, don't think I'm going to make money, I'm going to help my family, I'm going to send my mother on a 3-year cruise. Right? Don't do that. Don't do that. Now, this doesn't mean don't go out and pay for dinner once in a while if you have more money. You're not getting into their blueprint like that. You're not taking away their lessons by buying them dinner. In a few hours it's going to be down the toilet anyway. Right? That's not taking away their lessons. But what's taking away their lessons is if you get them things to help their life. Getting them a book is nothing. But when you fix their house and buy them a car, that's taking away their lessons. It's making their life more comfortable. And if their life is more comfortable, they don't have lessons. They've got nothing to ask, nothing to think about. So let them ask. There is another way around this. Because the universe is an intelligence, it's not very cunning. Cunning. You know the word cunning in German? Cunning means someone who's thinking smart, but like this, like sneaky smart. Cunning. No? Cunning. I'll find another word. Okay, street smarts. Okay, it doesn't have street smarts, the universe. It has simply intelligence. So you can go around it the other way. You can say to the members of your family, at the moment I have money. If you need something, let me know. And that way, they will ask you. And by asking you, you're not taking away their lessons. Right? There are many ways you can work around it. There are. But don't just go there and say, here you go, here's 50,000 euros, because I love you. Don't do that. Okay, let them ask. Right now I have money, if you need some, let me know. And then leave. Don't wait there for them to let you know that moment, because then you're putting them in a situation where they have to say, yes I do. Okay. Leave, turn around. Leave meaning, if you need some, let me know, and then turn around. Focus on something else. And that way, they will come and ask, and that way you don't take away their lessons, and then it's all done. You can all live in Beverly Hills. Okay, yes. You know what? Yes, go ahead. I'll come to you in a minute, Ines. Yes.
But if somebody gives me money without me asking, for example, my mother wants to give me money because she knows I'm struggling,
okay.
Can I accept it, or should I say no, I have to learn to...
If someone gives you money... It's okay. Okay. If someone gives you money without you asking, take it and run. Okay. Now, if your mother's giving you money without you asking, take it. Take it. Take it. Also, parents give children money because they feel guilty. She didn't give you the love and attention she was supposed to give you, so now she's trying to pay you off. Okay, so take it. Take it. Ask for more. We always try and help our children out of guilt. We always buy our children expensive toys out of guilt, because we felt guilty that we weren't there for them. You see, a child is not a handbag. It needs 24/7 attention. And we don't do that. We have a child simply because we had sex. Or because we're nearly 40. And if we don't do it now, when are we going to do it? And then we feel guilty that we don't have time for the child. So we buy the child toys instead of being there with the child. In a civilized society where we're going to soon, we won't have children just because we had sex. We're going to go to school first. And we're going to learn everything about children. We're going to become child psychologists and then have children. Whoever wants to. Because we won't all be having children in the next dimension. Very, very small percentage of the population will be having children. But that small percentage, those people, will be totally focused on their child. Totally. They won't be like, watching TV and the child in the next room, or online, or on the phone. Nothing like that. Nothing. The child needs 24/7 attention, and we know that. It's just how nature is. We know that. And at one point we feel guilty about it, and then we start to buy them off. And it works. It works. So take the money. Take the money, and don't feel bad about it. Ines.
Yes, I have another question, but I still want to stay with the money.
Okay, you can ask both questions, that's fine.
I wonder, what could be the most effective intention to create more money?
You mean what could be the most effective intent to create create more money? What intent should you send out?
Yes.
Okay, that's intent. Okay. What intent should I send out to the universe in order to create more money? Is that good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First, you have to like money.
Mm-hmm.
Because we always say, I don't like money. I'm not doing it for the money. And money goes, okay, I'll go somewhere else. So you can't send out any intent if you say phrases like, I don't like money, I'm not doing this for the money, I don't care about the money, I've never cared about the money. If you say phrases like that, there's no way you'll be able to make more. It simply won't come to you, it's an energy. So first, we would need to stop saying those phrases. They're silly. Because it's schizophrenic. It's like saying to, as we said before, like saying to your girlfriend, I only want you for sex. See, we always say, the only reason I have money is to pay the bills. Like saying, I only have you because I need you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have you. The money won't stay. Not only will it not stay, it won't come. It won't come. So before you focus on any intent, sending out an intent, focus on liking money. Focus on liking money. I've said this in many seminars before. It'll be on many YouTube videos, so don't get bored. I was living on the Upper West Side in Manhattan, and a lot of Jews live there. And a lot of them, not all of them of course, but most of them have very nice apartments. And I could see as it was getting dark, they were turning the lights on, and I was walking the streets, and I could see in the nice apartments, right? Like $6,000 a month rent, and things like that. And I was talking to my higher self, and I asked, why do Jews always have money? And the answer was, because they like it. And I said, oh, it's that simple? And my higher self answers, everything is that simple. You're complicated. Right? Because they like it. They never say phrases like, I'm not doing this for the money. Never. Like we say. So first we need to work on that. And if we can work on that, we will automatically, after this, go into the flow. Mm-hmm. So first, we need to work on the blockages, why we block money. And we do it with our language, the way we talk, and the way we think. Right? The way we think. That's it. And the other question?
Still the money thing.
Okay.
I wonder if I'm in a place where I really love money. Okay? What could be the most effective way to communicate with the universe? Because you said it's about exchanging. And I've learned, some coaches told me, like telling the universe, you know what? I want to have the money to go to Paris. I want to have the money to do that.
Make this a question.
So what could be the most effective way to communicate with the universe to create more money?
What could be the most effective way to communicate with the universe to create more money? I wouldn't agree with saying I want money to go to Paris, because you're telling money, I don't want you for me, I want you for Paris.
Mm-hmm.
I want you for the tickets, and I want you for the hotel. So I would simply say, keep saying, I want money, and leave it at that. What you do with it afterwards doesn't matter. Okay, keep saying, I want money. The way you're laughing now, you're not comfortable with money.
Okay.
You're not comfortable with money. You're like, okay, yes. Okay, that is body language for, I'm not really comfortable. Right? That's what we're talking about. First you have to be comfortable with having money without needing it. Oh, another good one. I remember this client. Why do I always get... No, excuse me. Why do I spend money before I make it? And his soul answers, so you can have an excuse to make it. Because you don't feel comfortable making money if you don't need it. You think it's bad. So you go and get into debt so that you can have an excuse to go and make the money. Right? That's the thing. None of us are comfortable with money. Almost none of us. Right? We're not comfortable with it, so we go and shop with our credit card. So then we say, I have to go to work, I have to make money, I need it. I need it. We buy a bigger house than we need, so the mortgage can be high, so we can make money for the house. I need it now. I need it. This simply proves that we're not comfortable with money. We're not comfortable with making money if we don't need it. Right? So we get into debt so then we can have an excuse to make it. So instead of focusing on how can I send out a message out to the universe that I want more money, focus on becoming comfortable with it. Focus on becoming comfortable with it. When I first went to Greece, this was back in 2005, and I started doing seminars, someone would ask a glamorous question like, no, they won't ask, they would say something like, thank you for doing this, you're really helping us. And so I can cut them at the roots, so to speak, because this is just stupid. I would say, I'm not doing it to help you, I'm doing it for the money. They were just so shocked. They go, some people, I thought they were going to faint. Right? They can't take that. They can't take it. I was saying it for me, so I can tell the universe, listen, bitch, I'm comfortable with the money, bring it. Right? That's why I was doing it. But people can't take that. When you say, I'm doing this for the money, you can see the breath, like it stops. That's where you need to reach. That's where you need to reach. Be comfortable with the money, or be comfortable with money. Be comfortable with it, and then you won't block it. You're comfortable with it. We block it because we're not comfortable. We're not comfortable with money at all, and that's why we block it. So I think if you focus on that, then you won't need to focus on what should I send out so money can come to me. You asked the question, why are we not comfortable with money? Okay. There's a lot of people on earth that believe there isn't enough. Okay? They believe that there isn't enough. So they told everybody else that money's not good. So they can hold on to it. Right? This happened a long time ago. And it went from generation to generation to generation. Right? I mean, just last generation, I remember, there were songs, I'm not sure in English, but in Greek, because I'm Greek, my mother used to listen to Greek music when we lived in Australia. There were songs like, no money but a golden heart. That's just propaganda. Or, the poor people make good children. I know. Now, when you grow up listening to those songs, you start believing it. That you need to be poor to be good. That's why we're not comfortable with money. Or my favorite one, the rich don't go to heaven. Yeah. The rich don't need to go to heaven, they're already there. Okay. Little phrases like that have made us uncomfortable with money. The easiest way to move ahead is to look back at everybody you learned something from and say, I don't need you anymore, thank you. I'm going alone now. And look in. And your soul will guide you, and then you'll learn things from the universe rather than from other people. Right? Like your parents, television, your school, your teachers. Say thank you, but goodbye. And don't think of them at all, and turn the other way and look in. And you'll be guided. You will be guided by your soul to whatever it is you want or you need to learn, or whatever it is your soul wants to learn. Question? Thomas?
Why did the UFO show up in Vienna the last days?
Why does the UFO show up in Vienna the last days? Because most of you Viennese people don't believe in aliens. I've done seminars in so many countries, and Austria is the country where people like say, aliens, what are you talking about? And I just don't understand it. In so many countries they go, yes, right away. And they ask questions about aliens. As for here in Austria, I don't know why. Is it because it's always cloudy, you don't see them? I don't know. So they're showing up, I can't tell you why they showed up the last 3 days, but UFOs, they're not actually unidentified. The U means unidentified. They're not unidentified at all. We know exactly who they are. But aliens, let's call them aliens, have been showing up all over the world for many, many, many years. It's not just Vienna the last few days. So I couldn't tell you why. I'm assuming that they keep showing up everywhere so people can get used to the idea so that when they land, we won't be too shocked. The biggest reason we don't want to believe in aliens. Most of us get up every morning and we go to a job we don't like to pay for a house that has 4 walls. We work 30 years in a job we don't like for 4 walls. That's like about 8.5 years for every wall. All of a sudden the aliens come and they show us their worlds. We're going to go crazy. We're going to say, hang on a minute, I've worked 40 years for 4 walls and now you're telling me I can go anywhere in the universe for free? Right? That will just make you go crazy. And that's the reason we don't want to believe in aliens. It's like, hang on a minute, I've spent 40 years in a marriage I didn't like for security. And now you're telling me I'm free? I can leave whenever I like? It's these are the reasons we say, no aliens, I don't believe in aliens, no. I've spent too much energy focusing on this game. So the aliens are coming so that everybody can see, and then they'll land. And they'll come out of they land all the time, but then they'll uncloak. See, they put a cloak around them so we can't see. They become invisible. But they do land all the time. They walk the streets all the time and everything. Right? And then they'll come normally with their own bodies instead of changing their body. And they will say, you know what? You can live a little bit differently. Just a little bit. And then you'll be happy. And you'll be on your path. So many of us, so many times I get a client who says, what's my path? And I look at them and I'm like, that's your problem? You do a job you don't like. You sleep in the same bed with a man you don't like. And you're asking me about your path? You're still in A and you're asking me about Z. So this is why, this is why we don't want the aliens to come. Because they will change. They will force us to ask questions. Why do I do things I don't like? That's why. Why am I in a job I don't like? Why do I get up every morning and go to a job I don't like? Why do I wake up with an alarm clock? Right. They're going to say, what the hell are you doing waking up by force? Why are you forcing yourself to wake up? That question, imagine if an alien came, that's the first question they would ask. Like, why don't you get up whenever you wake up? Naturally, you know. And it's funny because most of the people who do this don't even believe in other lives. They think it's only this life. Oh right, it's only this life and you're not enjoying it. If there's only one life, why are you not enjoying it? Okay, question? Yes?
I don't know how to ask this
Ask it and I'll fix it, don't worry, I'll change it.
It's, no, we're all in this transition process.
We're all in this transition process.
And we feel that we have a part in it to play.
We feel that we have a part in it to play.
So, what is it that's really there to be done now most urgently for every single one of us? Is it like going inside and connect with my heart and connect with my soul? This is it? Is there something else? Is there a key? Is there something that should be known right now?
So what is the most important thing for each one of us to do right now?
Yes.
Because we have all come here for different reasons, I'll tell you what most of us have come for, but it doesn't mean that everyone has come for the same thing. Most of us have come to express our soul in another physical reality. Our soul has many expressions in many realities that are fully aware, fully conscious. This one, we're not fully conscious. So we've come here to become conscious of who we are and then express our soul in yet one more reality. That's how it is. It's like fill up the sink with nice warm water and put only 4 fingers in there instead of 5. The 5th finger that is out of the water is us on earth. And by becoming more and more conscious, we slowly dip the 5th finger into the water as well. And then the hand, which is the soul, says, now I have all my fingers in the water. It's something like that. Now I'm expressed consciously in every reality. It's something like that. That's the reason. So there's nothing we have to do. We don't have to save the world. The world is just fine. The world is just fine. But we have to become fully realized. What they call a fully realized being means I know who I am, I know why I am. That's it. That's fully realized. Now, you might not know every single detail of who you are, but let's not forget, up to now, or almost up to now, we were totally asleep. We thought the meaning of life was to eat. Really, we thought that we have to have enough to eat. Food, quickly. Survival. We thought the meaning of life is survival. As we slowly start understanding that there's so much more than survival, that's when we start becoming more realized. Meaning we're starting to realize who we are. And more of the real us comes into the body. That's all we have to do. Focus on ourselves and keep asking questions. Who am I? Why am I here? How does this make me feel? You're going through a difficult time. Someone didn't call or someone dumped you. Your relationship broke up. Don't say, he was too afraid to commit. He's afraid in case he gets hurt on the phone with all your friends. He's not afraid of any of those things. You're just meant to ask different questions. And you're meant to start looking inside and start loving you. So he played the role so he can force you to look in. Because if he was the perfect man, perfect in all the ways you want from a man, you would not ask any questions. You would not look in. You would look out. You would look at him. And you would say, he provides everything for me, I'm fine. But in order for you to become a fully realized being, you need to start providing everything for you. Every emotional need. You and every you, right? All of us. We need to start providing, we need to start fulfilling our needs. And then more soul comes in. We need to become independent in all ways, not just financially independent. In all ways, and then soul comes into the body. That's what you need to do. So we don't need to worry about the earth and about sending light here and doing work there. As I had said, I remember to one other lady a long time ago, it was actually in Austria, in Graz, who thought she was saving the world with her light. The earth is 4 billion years old. She was 40. Do you really think the earth waited 4 billion years for you to come and save her? As soon as you came, the earth said, great, I can relax now. Katerina's here, she's going to save me. So yes, too many silly New Age people are just being silly, and then they wonder why other people make fun of them. When someone hears you saying, "I'm clearing the earth with my light, I walk on the earth and it clears," it's like, okay, we need to put her in a mental institution, but they're full. Right. So yes, focus on you. Simply focus on you. To become fully realized. You know, how does something make me feel? Ask that question often. I'm eating this nice meal. How does it make me feel? And that way you get the experience consciously. Ines.
What is an easy way to leave the system?
What is an easy way to leave the system? Okay. What is an easy way to leave the system? I'm sure there's more than one way, but right now I'm not getting any way to leave the system. Let me see if I can go back and think how I did it. Yes, you need to stop worrying about survival. You see, the system we have, because it's breaking up now, because it's time for us to go to the next level and we don't need it anymore, we are condemning it, we are judging it, and we're saying it's not good. Yes, but the system was perfect for taking us out of poverty. This system that we are now judging has taken billions of people out of poverty. So it was perfect. It's just that now we are going beyond survival and we no longer need the system. It doesn't mean the system is not good. It's not the system's fault that we are going beyond survival. The system was created for survival, for safety, for security. So we need to stop judging it and keep telling ourselves, I am now ready to go beyond survival. And this will create the energy that will suck you out of the system and into the energy of expression. The next reality is expression. The fifth dimension is all about expression. We will wake up in the morning and we will say, who do I want to be today? Or, what do I want to be today? As for now, we wake up in the morning and we say, oh, I need to make money. Right? I need to survive. I need to pay the bills. But in the fifth dimension, we will simply wake up and say, what do I want to be today? So I would suggest, if you want to come out of the system, first get the energy ready, so that you won't come out of the system and then you're hanging off the balcony. Because then nothing can save you. If you're not in the system, it can't provide security for you. So you're going to fall. So create the energy first, and you'll create it by saying, I am now ready to enter the energy of expression, or I am now ready to start expressing the real me. You could also say, I used to say, because I didn't know all these words way back when, I used to say, I'm ready for the next level. And then later I learned all these words from clients, and now I say these words. Right? But if you want to, you can simply say, I'm now ready for the next level, and let the universe do it. But you can't say it and then be afraid that you're going to lose your job. That's part of it. Right? If your job is part of the system, you're going to lose it. But this will force you to open something else up. It'll force you to become self-employed. It'll force you to go to do what you really wanted to do. Okay. Yes.
But can we really go to the next level if the rest of us, of the world, doesn't go to the next level?
Can we really go to the next level if the rest of us does not go to the next level? Many, many, many people have gone to the next level. The rest of us will follow later. The next level has some benefits, but also some things we don't like. I'll tell you the benefits of the next level, because I've been in the next level for many years. You sleep like a baby at night. I go to bed at night, and the only thing I think about is, where am I going to have my coffee tomorrow? That's my biggest problem. Which coffee shop will I have my coffee in tomorrow? So I sleep like a baby. You never think of tomorrow when you're at the next level. You don't bother because you know it's going to happen. You also know that whatever's meant to happen is going to happen. I have no control over it. So then you let go completely. Those are the benefits of being in the next level. You stay young and beautiful. You automatically start eating healthy because the energy requires it. It requires you to be healthy inside your body as well. Right? Now, the non-benefits, you are alone a lot because all the other people talk about is survival and it bores you. Simply, not because you're better, you're not there anymore. It's like you're in university but everybody's still talking about high school. It's like, guys, it was nice but I'm not there anymore. I'm in university now. So, yes, you do have days where you're alone. You have most of your days where you're alone, but you do have days where you might feel lonely. It is almost impossible to have a relationship at the next level. Almost. Not totally, almost. Why? Because relationships... I need some water for this one because someone's going to kill me in a minute. Sorry. Relationships are based on lies. We cannot have a relationship if there's truth. And as you go to the next level, you simply can't do lies anymore. So you're honest. You're brutally honest. For instance, you're in a relationship. Someone comes home after work and says, "Did you miss me today?" You will say, "No, I didn't even think about you today." Which is the truth. You're not being mean. You're simply saying the truth. But in the old energy, you would say, "Of course I did, darling." That's a lie. But in the new energy, you can't say that. Your body will start going, you're going to start scratching yourself. You will start itching yourself. Okay. So that's why it's difficult to have a relationship as you become more aware, as you become more fifth dimensional. Family members, they seem to pull away from you because they feel threatened by you. Because you're showing them that they too can have an easy life if they simply let go. So they pull away from you, they don't call you, they don't hang out with you because you threaten them. Right? These are the non-benefits of the new energy if you go into it now. You can wait to go into it with the rest of the world, the rest of the wave. But you know what? This is going to sound like a judgment. It's not a judgment. It's one thing being a wolf and another being a sheep. You can wait with the rest of the sheep and coming together with the rest of the flock, or you can be a wolf and always be ahead of the game and just eat the damn sheep. Right? So it's a choice. I personally chose a long time ago, about 14 years ago, to go one step ahead, to be in the new level. I kept saying to my soul and the universe, I want more. I remember actually twice, 2 different times, my soul said, "You're going to be alone." And I said, "That's okay, I want more." And then you open up and you get more information, or you have access to more information. The minute you think, the answer just comes. That's access. The information is not necessarily stored into your brain. You simply have, you're online all the time. You're on Google all the time. Right? It's something like that. And I did get warned a long time ago, you're going to be alone if you want more, if we connect you with more. And I did say, it's okay, do it. So now I can't complain. But a lot of people I've seen can't be alone. They're terrified of being alone. So for them, I would recommend, don't come to the next level yet, wait. Wait till everybody goes, and you can go with them. So you won't be alone. Okay. Another non-benefit of the next level is there's no insurance, no security. Okay. Since I got into these things, only once did I have 1,000 euros in the bank. Only once. I usually have between 300 and 400. And I keep that 300 and 400 in case I need to buy a ticket last minute. An airline ticket. In case I go to a place. Usually I go, I work, I make some money, I live, and then I go to the next place. I work, make some money, I live, and keep going. And I always have 300 to 400, and that's it. Usually 100 to 200 in my pocket, and 300 to 400 in the bank, in a credit card, in case I want to buy a ticket. Because sometimes I might go to a place and I just don't like it, and I want to get out of there quickly. So I want to have enough money to buy the ticket out. So there's no security. There's really no security. I'm here today, it is, what day is it today? Sunday. I'm supposed to be here one more day, and then Tuesday I'm leaving. I didn't know where to. I don't even know 2 days ahead where I'll be going. And I was giving a session to Ines today. My higher self came, and I said, ask my higher self, where to on Tuesday? And she saw something, and I go, that's it, I'm going. So I went in and bought the ticket on the internet right away, and now I know where to. Right. That's how you'll be living. No security. You won't know the future. You just won't know. But you have to trust. You have to trust. You know how I started trusting? I noticed that my home, where I was before I came to Earth, is beautiful. Beautiful. So when I die, I'm going back there. So I kept saying in the beginning, the worst thing that could happen is I could die. If I die, I'm going back home. Home is beautiful, which means I have nothing to worry about. And that's how I let go of my fear to make sure I know what's going to happen tomorrow and the next day and the next month. By knowing home. I would recommend a book. The first one is Journey of Souls by Michael Newton. And the second one, but it doesn't have to be read, the second one, it's not necessarily in order, is Destiny of Souls, again by Michael Newton. After reading that book, I had seen home so well that I remember walking the street and I went across the road and a car nearly ran me over, almost, but it stopped. And I said, damn it, I almost went back home. I was actually sad that the car did not run me over after reading that book, because I saw home so well. Another good one, it might not have so much to do with home, but it is Courageous Souls. Like souls with courage, courageous souls. That's another very good one, of seeing why you can't come to Earth and why you choose difficult lives or problems or whatever. But I don't remember the author of that one. Courageous Souls. Okay, so yes, you might say, can you go to the next level without the rest of the world coming? You can. Many, many, many people have. Because I travel a lot from center to center to center and I do these seminars, I've met many people that do very similar things. And none of them are in the system. None of them. None of them know where they're going next. But we live a very simple life. Like everything I have fits in a small suitcase. Small, like this size. Everything I have. And that's my whole life. And I get it and I just go. Right. So we're all like that. We don't have houses, we don't pay rent, we don't have electricity bills, because we go from place to place and we work and we... In the olden days, that was very normal. They were called travelers. They would go and they would ask, do you need any work done on your farm or on your house? They would do the work, they would get food and a little bit of money, and they would move on. And they would see the whole country or the whole world. That was quite normal, 100 years ago. But now it's not. Well, it's becoming more normal again. But I've met I've been traveling for 10 years. In my 10 years I've actually been traveling, I've met hundreds of people that are out of the system and that work like this.
But if I want a big house in south of France, and I want a big car, and I want children, I could not live that way.
Okay, if you want a big house in the south of France, and if you want a car, and if you want children. The house and the car is okay. What on earth would you want children for?
I don't want children, but...
Thank you. Okay.
That came from here.
Let's take the children out, because they make no sense whatsoever. And let's focus on the car and the house. There is a very good saying in America: property is to be enjoyed, not to be owned. You can enjoy the nice car and the big house in the south of France. You don't have to own them. You really don't. I was in Athens. They had called me to Istanbul to do a seminar and some private sessions for 10 days. I'm in the aeroplane, and as the aeroplane was taking off from Athens, it's only a 1-hour flight to Istanbul. I say, my angels, I would like a house. I would like a house in Istanbul with a view of the Bosporus. You know, where you're in Europe and you can see Asia. Thank you. I leave it, I'm flying for 1 hour, I land, I go to the school the center that had called me. I go up to their office, I say, hello, I'm Eric, so. Okay, nice to meet you, everything. After about 10 minutes, she goes, let me show you your room. She takes me 1 floor up, the room was in the back. She opens the door to my room, and I can see the entire Bosporus from my room. And I'm like, my eyes went watery, I started to cry, because I had asked for it just 2 hours before. And she goes, this is your room. So I worked and lived in that same room with a view of the Bosporus. Right. And I was supposed to stay there for 10 days. By the 4th or 5th day, she says to me, Eric, stay here. And I go, yeah, why? Where was I going? She goes, no, stay here. Her English was not very good. She goes, stay here. I go, yes, but what do you mean? Don't go back to Greece, stay here, live here. I go, oh my God, you want me to get an apartment in Istanbul? She goes, no, live in that room that I gave you. I'm like, oh, are you sure? Yes. So I stayed 4 years. 4 years. I went for 10 days. Okay. So I was living like a millionaire because those apartments belong to millionaires. Of course, the center was making money from me because we get the money half-half, right? So whatever money I was making, the center was making half. So it's not that they gave me a gift, they were making money. And if I stayed there, they would make money longer. But what I'm trying to say is property is to be enjoyed. I had absolutely no money, but I was living in an apartment, large, with a house of the Bosporus. With a view of the Bosporus. So I was living like a millionaire. So say to the universe, I want to enjoy the south of France. Or I would like comfortable accommodations in the south of France. You say it like that. Let me give you another little example and then we'll go to your questions. I used to live in San Francisco with my sister and a brother, right? And then suddenly we all went our different ways. My sister went to Las Vegas. She noticed in Las Vegas houses next to golf courses. And they were really nice. You could see the golf course and then you could see the mountains there. And she says to the universe, I want a house next to a golf course. She had absolutely no money. She went to an agency to work as a babysitter. The agency sent her to a house next to a golf course, and she worked there for the weekend as a babysitter. She goes back home. Next weekend, she gets another call on Friday. Could you do one more weekend for the same family? They want you again. She said yes. She went back, she did one more weekend. At the end of that weekend, the family says to them, the couple says to them, we have to move to New York for 3 years. Would you like to take care of our house? That right next to the golf course. So she had a house for 3 years by herself, 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, next to a golf course. And she asked for it just 10 days earlier. But she believed it. She didn't say, I don't have money though. These are $3 or $4 million houses. If I don't have money, how am I going to get it? She just said, universe, I want to live in a house next to the golf course. That's how the universe works once you let go. If we're holding on like this, it can't take us there. It can't take us there. I read a very good line the other day on Facebook, I think it was. When you ask something from God, there's 3 answers. God will say, okay, here you go, and you get it. Or God will say, wait a minute, and he'll go and get you something better. Or he'll say, wait a while, and he'll get you the best. By letting go, we can wait. We say, this is what I want, and then we leave it. And then the universe will get us the best. But we need to let go. We don't let go. We just hold on. Hold on. I have to go because... And this doesn't bring us the house in the south of France. So you don't need a house in the south of France. You simply want to enjoy a house in the south of France. You do not need to own it. So say to the universe, I love the south of France and I would like to enjoy it. And leave it. Leave it, leave it, leave it, leave it. Do you know how many clients have given me their holiday apartments or their holiday houses? Because they don't go. You know, they're too busy making money. So I go and enjoy them. And they're happy because, you know, see, the funny thing with people is they think that the healer did it. It has nothing to do with me. I'm just telling you what questions to ask and you connect with your higher self. But they think I do it. So they give me their house. So I'm like, okay, I'll take it. I have no problem taking it. Right. That's how it will be once you come out of the system. But it's not going to happen in one day. It's going to happen as you totally let go so that you can go into the universal flow. The universe is like a river. You can't just go to the edge and put your little toes in and say, where is it? Where's my villa in the south of France? No, you've got to totally jump into the river. And that river will take you to your villa in the south of France. See, what we do with the New Age community especially, right? We hold on to the trees that are on the edge of the river and we put our toes in the river. And we say, okay, I'm in the universal flow. No, you're not. Your toes are in the universal flow. You're not in there at all. We need to totally let go and go in. Totally. And know that if I die, I'll go back home. It's okay. It's okay. That's when you've totally let go. And the universe totally takes care of you. Totally, totally, totally. I was in Turkey after 4 years, right? I loved it, very comfortable. And I said to the universe one day, I'm looking at the Bosporus, this is really nice, but I feel like I've stopped growing. Because everything was so comfortable there, and they were providing everything for me. There was always clients, there was always money coming in. So I had everything. I would fly here and there. So after 4 years, I said to the universe, you know what, this is nice, but I feel like I've stopped growing. But I don't want to say to them goodbye, because they're so nice to me. I don't want to just say, okay, bye, thank you, but bye. And I said to the universe, I'm leaving it up to you. The very next day, I go to the airport, because I was flying to another city. And the immigration there, the policeman, says, you've overstayed. And I said, no, I haven't. I have 3 more days. You get 3 months visa as you go in. So every 3 months, I used to leave Turkey for a couple of days. No, I didn't. I've got 3 more days. He goes, no, no, no. If you stay more than 90 days in a 6-month period, you've overstayed. I go, how long has that law been around for? He said, 5 years. I go, I've been doing this for the past 4 years. Nobody checked. And I go, now what? Now you cannot come back for 5 years. And I said, perfect. Now I have a good excuse to tell them. Right? Because I said to the universe, Turkey's nice, but I stopped growing. You need to get me out of here. And after 4 years of overstaying, then they saw that I overstayed. The first 4 years, no one would see it. No one would check. They just wouldn't check. They go, okay, okay. But that one guy checked, and then I couldn't go back for 5 years. So I called them. See, that's how the universe works. Literally, less than 24 hours before, I had said, you can get me out of Turkey now. Yes?
But is it okay not wanting to live like this right now? Make a transition slowly?
Okay.
So is it possible to have a good life?
It is very possible to have a good life in the system. But you're going to have to let go of the belief that there isn't enough. And then you can have a good life in the system, yes. The system was designed so you can have a good life. But because we believe there isn't enough, we don't make enough. One of the first books I read in this metaphysical thing, it was Louise Hay's, you can heal your life. At the end of the book, she said, money is like the ocean. No matter how big a pipeline you put in the ocean, you can't suck out all the water. That's how money is. There is no shortage of money. But we go to the ocean of money with a little teaspoon. And we always have as much money as can fit in a little teaspoon. Get a bucket and go to the ocean. And then you'll have a very comfortable life. Yes, you don't have to leave the system to have a comfortable life, no. No, 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 no. Because the system was designed for comfort. So ride the wave, as they say. Sorry, I use a lot of American terms. Okay, but first you need to stop believing that there isn't enough. As long as you believe there isn't enough, or that you have to work hard for money, no, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult. Okay. You don't have to leave the system to become fully realized. That's just what I did or some people did. You can be fully realized within the system. Okay. Any more questions? You can say it in German if you like. We can translate it. No? Okay. Did you have a question?
I always have questions.
Give me one. Give me one, because your soul is like jumping around there.
Well, the one that just came now is the system is going to change anyway, you know? I mean,
The system is going to change anyway. So what are you asking? What's the question?
I'm looking for confirmation here.
You mean the system is going to change anyway? Why should I do anything?
No, because it sounded like, wow, I gotta make a decision now whether I'll be outside the system or inside the system. And I think to myself, well, it doesn't matter because the system won't be around for so much longer in this way anyway.
Okay, you don't have to make a decision whether you want to be inside the system or not. The reason I'm telling some people to make this decision is because they're not happy in the system. So I'm saying, if you're not happy in the system, simply come out of it. Only then. If you're happy in the system, you'll be stupid to listen to someone who says, come out of the system. Because you're happy in it. Why would you come out of it if you're happy in it? If you're not happy, I'm saying, you know what, there is another way as well. Sure, you don't have security, but you're happy. Now, there is another thing here. I don't mean to scare you. Have you heard the saying in Hollywood movies, it's usually around drugs or the mafia or the police is going to catch you or the FBI is going to get you, and partners are talking, one's in danger, one is not, and they're saying, if I go down, you're coming with me. That's how the system is. The system's not just going to say, thank you for playing me, I'll go the other way now. The system's going to suck you down with it. Because no one wants to die alone. We know that from humans. Right? No one wants to die alone. The system is dying, but the system is an energy. Everything is a soul. Everything is an energy. So as the system dies, it will take down as many as possible. As many as possible. Now, when we say take you down, it's not going to kill you, but you might be stuck with a house that you're paying $1,300 a month for the mortgage, and now the house is worth $50,000 instead of $400,000, only because no one's buying houses anymore. The system's collapsing. So why will I buy a $400,000 house when the system's collapsing? And as we know from the stock market, something is only worth as much as someone else is willing to pay for it. So you might have bought your house for $400,000, but if I'm not willing to pay more than 50, it's not worth 400, it's worth 50. This is what I mean by the system will take you down with it. It won't kill you. It's just that you've got all the trappings of the system, the house, the cars, the insurance, the pension, all of those payments, and those payments are not going to stop. The taxes, they're not going to stop. But what you're paying for is not worth as much anymore. This has already happened in Greece. I remember when I first went to Greece for seminars, the economy was booming, everybody was building, and I was getting, don't buy property. And I was telling the clients, your higher self is saying don't buy property. Very soon it'll be worthless. But of course, when everything's going up, you can't believe that. You don't believe it. You say, what do you mean? I bought it last month and now it's worth 10,000 more in just 1 month. So now everybody's calling to say, I can't sell the house. This is what the higher self meant by don't buy property, soon it's going to be worthless. In Greece it is worthless now. Only because no one is buying. The way Greece is, no one is buying property. Property is usually for the future. And if you're in Greece, there really is no future right now. So why would you buy property? So $1 million properties are selling for like 200,000. But the taxes are still as if it was $1 million property. That's the thing. Because the government says, that's $1 million property. You're going to pay me on $1 million property tax. And you can say, but I can't sell it for $1 million. I can only sell it for 100. I don't care. That's what we mean by the system will take you down with it. You're stuck in that. You're stuck in the trappings of the system. So, if you're happy in the system, no, you'll be silly to come out of it. But if you're not happy, you know what, there is another way. Simply come out of the system. That's all. Simplify your life as much as possible so that you can pick up and go at any moment. You speak German. Do you know how many countries will hire you to teach German? So many countries. It's one of the 5 major languages. You speak English. Do you know how many countries will hire you to teach English? All of them. Even America. Don't make the mistake and think that English-speaking countries speak English. They don't. There's so many people in those countries that don't speak English. So you can live anywhere and teach something. You're not going to die. It doesn't work that way. You're not going to die. These people we see in the street, they're not in the street because they fell out of the system. They're alcoholics. They burned all their brain cells. You know, they look 20 minutes to find 20 cents in their hand. It's in their hand, but they can't see it. The brain isn't working anymore. Right. So don't think that, oh my God, if I come out of the system, I'm going to end up like this man. No, this man is an alcoholic. That's different. This man isn't simply homeless. It's different. He's burned his brain cells. He can't do anything else. But you've got your brain cells. You can go anywhere and work. Anywhere. The universe always opens up doors for you. Of course, as I said, you won't have security. Right? A school might hire you in, let's say, Iran, which is a beautiful country, by the way. Don't listen to CNN. You know what? Since we said Iran and CNN, let me tell, this is for Western people. Go to Muslim countries. The people are the most beautiful people you have ever met. They're warm, they're sexy. You look into their eyes and they have this spark. Okay. And do not confuse Muslim countries with Muslim immigrants in Europe. Muslim immigrants in Europe came here in the 60s and they stayed in the 60s, but their countries have moved on. I know this very well because my parents were also immigrants in Australia and they left Greece in the 60s and we stayed in the 60s and then we went back to Greece in the 80s and it was like another world because we got stuck in the 60s and Greece had moved on. Greece had gone to the 80s. So we were 20 years behind. The way we dressed, the way we thought, the way we talked, everything. So don't see the poor Muslim immigrants in Europe and think, why on earth would I want to go to Turkey? Let me tell you, I've lived in California for 12 years and 4 years in Turkey. When I was in Turkey, I thought I was in California. Turkey is just like California. Okay, so go to Muslim countries. You're really going to enjoy life. You really will. And you can teach something there, and then you can move on to another country, and then another country, and at the end of your life, you will look back and you will say, I did it all. Because let me tell you, baby, at the end of your life, you don't want to look back and say, I had a nice, comfortable apartment in Vienna. Okay, bravo. You know, you want to say, I did it all. I did it all, everything. Keep traveling. Go to places like Morocco. It'll blow your mind. Right. Okay, enough advertising about Muslim countries. And do not listen to the news. Look, a state, in order for a state to survive, it needs an enemy. Without an enemy, the state cannot survive. People do not become patriotic, they do not join the army, and they will not go to war. So in order for the state to get people to do these things, it needs an enemy. So it creates an enemy. And then you go to that enemy's country and they look at you and they go, wow, welcome. Welcome. And they give you everything. And you're thinking, this is the enemy? No. Without an enemy, you can't have a state. You can't. You can't be fanatic. You cannot get fanatic if there's no enemy. You will not fight for your country if there's no enemy. It's like, what do you mean fight for my country? What are you talking about? It's like fighting for your street. And the enemy is the people across the street. Does that make any sense? It doesn't. That's how it is with everything else too. So see the bigger picture. We need enemies in order to have states. And in order for so many people to have cushy jobs. There's no real big evil thing behind this. It's those little people. They want their cushy job, so they promote propaganda and lies. So they can keep their cushy, easy job. That's all. So they're really doing it out of fear. Fear that there isn't enough, and I have a cushy job now, I want to keep it. That's all it is. So there's no need to hate them. Just come out of it and see the bigger picture. There are no enemies. There are absolutely no enemies whatsoever. None whatsoever. But we need them, the state needs them to survive. And they tell us that this guy is the enemy. Terrorism. There's no such thing as terrorism. There isn't. Every single attack in America was done by Americans. Every single one. Right? There is no such thing as terrorism. But that's how they keep the people in fear, and they keep them patriotic, and they send them off to fight, and there's money. Wars make a lot of money. A lot of money. So why not have them? They're very profitable, you know. Very profitable. Another question? Yes.
I live in Vienna.
You live in Vienna, yes.
Together with Law, with my boyfriend.
Together with your boyfriend, yes.
And I mean, we don't feel really comfortable here because
in Vienna.
Yeah.
Okay, get to the question because I'm losing them.
Okay, the question is why don't we feel comfortable here, and why?
Okay. Okay, the question is, why don't I feel comfortable in Vienna anymore?
Yes.
Okay, because it's time for you to move. It's that simple. It's that simple. Look, many races in the universe, many civilizations in the universe have a saying, there is only one sin in the universe. Boredom. If you're bored, you're sinning. Because with all that there is available, why are you bored? Now, souls get bored very quickly. Once a soul stops learning, it gets bored. Because it says, I have nothing more to learn from this. Now I'm bored. I'm repeating the past. And that's why you're not so comfortable in Vienna. It has nothing to do with Vienna. It has to do with the fact that Vienna has nothing more to teach your soul. And you are your soul, of course, right? Vienna simply has nothing more to teach your soul. And that's why it's getting boring and not so comfortable. It's not Vienna. Some people say, oh, Vienna has dark energy. Bullshit. Vienna has beautiful energy. If you're meant to learn something from Vienna. If Vienna has nothing more to teach you, then things start becoming boring and slow and stagnant, meaning they're not moving. Okay, so you guys are not that excited about Vienna because it has nothing more to give you, that's all. Simply has nothing more to give you. So move to London or New York, where it will always have something to give you. In the 1800s, some author wrote, when one is tired of London, one is tired of life. You know what? Because things in London or New York change all the time. So how could you possibly get bored there? They change all the time. Those cities are not based on security. Those cities are not based on taking care of the poor. They're based on keep doing, keep creating, keep moving. So things change all the time and you cannot get bored there. So move. Simply move. That's all. Simply move. There's no reason why you're bored in one city or you're not comfortable in one city. It's not that the energy is bad. No city has bad energy. Okay. For the people who are meant to be there. Just move. That's all. It's easy. It's really, really easy. It's really easy. Just move. I am moving to London on Wednesday, actually. I was supposed to go Tuesday. There was no flight. I'm going on Wednesday. And I have about... in euro, after I change the money, I'm going to have about £300. And that's it. I'm moving to London with £300. What am I going to do, die? There's no way I could possibly die. Something's going to come up.
And do you have any plans in London?
Nothing at all.
Okay.
Not only that, unfortunately, I land late. I land at 11 p.m. By the time I get into London, it'll be 12:30 p.m. 12:30 a.m. after midnight. I've got no hotel booked, nothing. I will come out of the station and I'll say, which way? And they're going to guide me to which way to go. I'll knock on the door of a hotel, stay for one night, and then hopefully in the morning, something will happen.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If it doesn't, the second night I'll stay in the park, so to speak. It won't happen. It never has happened. But no, you go like that, no security. No security at all.
But for us now, we aren't so far as you are, so if we move to London now,
If
I
you
will
move
be too afraid that it doesn't work.
okay, if you move to London now, you'll have a fear that it won't work.
Yeah.
And if you don't move to London,
Yes, I'm completely bored.
thank you. You're completely bored. So now it's a matter of, do I want to be bored or do I want to be alive? Because, see, that's the thing. Do I want to be alive? Right. So if you want to, there is no good or bad. The universe will never judge you. It never does. So it's a choice of like, I've got everything in Vienna, but I'm bored because I'm not growing anymore. There's no challenges anymore. Challenges are growth. So if you have no problems, you have no challenges, so you're not growing. So do I choose to stay in the comfort and boredom of Vienna, or do I choose to go a little uncomfortable and feel alive? Also, you come from a country where you can come back and they start paying you right away until you get a job. So if it really falls apart in London, just come back. But you won't. You won't. You know why? There's an old American saying, how will you keep the children down on the farm once they have seen Paris? Okay, once you've seen Paris, you cannot go back to the farm in Oklahoma. You just can't. So that's how you're going to feel in London. It's not that London is that beautiful. It's not. The weather sucks. It's so expensive. It's dirty. It's smoggy. But it's London. Things are moving. You can feel your blood moving in your veins. Only because that's how the energy is. That's why cities like London and New York make so much money. Because money needs to constantly move. It doesn't like staying still. It needs to constantly move. And because in those cities the energy constantly moves, money gets big more and more and more. And that's why those cities are full of banks and financial institutions. Because the energy there moves all the time. If you look at London or New York from up high, energetically speaking, they have a tornado around them that keeps moving so fast it makes you dizzy. That's the energy of the city. Each city has an energy. It has a soul. So if you want to, before you move to London, lie down and imagine yourself above Europe, and then you're seeing London. And imagine this tornado above London, which is the energy of London. And say to this tornado, I would like to become a part of you. And then let it suck you in. It will suck you in, but even though the tornado is moving fast, you will be moving slower in there, and you'll be going lower and lower and lower, and it will leave you on the ground, on the pavement, on a street, on a park somewhere in London. That way, the energy has accepted you, the energy of the city, and then go. Then go. Then take your physical body there as well. Send your soul there first, and then take your physical body. Okay, things won't be easy all the time. There will be some money problems. There always are in London. And then you'll learn, you'll grow, and then things will come.
And what about Paris?
You know what? Paris is a beautiful city,
Okay.
but I'm afraid it's not for you two. Okay? It's just not for you two. Your energy suits London much more.
Not California, something.
California?
Summer.
You know what, baby? You can't handle California.
Why do you think so?
California is for the sharks.
Okay.
You're still little goldfish. They're gonna eat you alive over there. Okay, go to London first and then head for California. Because everybody's in California trying to do what you do. Everybody. Like everybody. And they're all working as waiters. And they're all selling their bodies. Right, so yeah, go to London first, and then after that, if you make it in London, go to California. California sounds nice, looks nice, but it's become so sophisticated and so rich that it's gonna gobble you up like a trash machine. So you gotta go to California ready and with balls. Big balls. Okay. You can't go there like the little dog here. Okay, you gotta go there like a bulldog. Okay, any more questions before we close it? Yes. Yes, as many as you like, yes.
Just if you say now go to London.
I'm saying now go to London.
You want to tell us keep and pack tomorrow and fly, or is it you have to do your work and in 1 year you will be ready, in 2 years, 3 years? Just I have a little difficulty to see how.
In 2 or 3 years, you won't recognize the world. It's going to be so different. Okay, I would say make the decision tomorrow. Because sometimes, just by making the decision, you've shifted into another energy. And things start working. Different things start working after your decision. Sometimes the physical move is not as important as the decision. So make the decision tomorrow. Do you want to go or do you want to stay? But do not sit in the middle and say, should we not? Should we not? No. Ines was telling me a story today about New York. She asked me, if you could live in any city, which city would it be? And I said, London or New York. Things move fast. I can feel life there. And she was telling me, in New York they make quick decisions, don't they? I said, yes, very. And she goes, I met this guy, then he sent me a message the next day, would you like to do lunch? Meaning go for lunch. Americans say, would you like to do lunch? She says, I was thinking about it for 10 minutes, and then I replied, yes. And he replied back, sorry, I made other plans. 10 minutes? What the hell took you so long? You know, they make quick decisions. So make the decision now, or tomorrow, make the decision tomorrow, and then go whenever. Go whenever. And things will change after you've made the decision. But don't just stand on the fence. In America we say, don't sit on the fence. On the fence of, between two properties. Should I go this way or should I go that way? This way or that way? Because that's like, let me tell you something that doesn't sound too good. Indecision making, meaning not being able to make decisions, is cancerous. It kills the cells. It makes the cells sick. So make a quick decision. Either decision is okay, but don't just not make a decision and wonder this way or that way, this way or that way, this way or that way. You have no idea what it does to the cells. You're killing your cells. Quick decision making keeps you young and beautiful like me. Did I mention that I'm young and beautiful? Okay, just in case I didn't mention it, I'll say it now. Okay. Quick decision making.
Yes, but that's not that easy. I have my dog, I can't take my dog, I don't want my dog to
give your dog to Ines, she's already got one.
Oh no!
Right.
My dog.
Now, nothing is that easy. We're just giving you another way. That's all. Nothing is that easy. But it's not meant to be easy. Easy is boring. And you're getting tired of being bored. And that's why we're saying move, 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 move. Right? Move. But no, don't go to another city with a dog. It needs a different apartment. It needs this, it needs that. You know, in London, you're not going to have your own little luxury bathroom. No, you're not. You're going to have a bathroom outside your house. Outside your apartment. Outside your room. You're going to get a room. first, in a big house, and the bathroom will be in the hallway. Yes. But you'll be in London. Okay. It won't matter because you'll walk the streets and you're going to feel alive. There's a reason why both those cities, London and New York, have bad weather, rude people, very expensive, and yet everybody goes. And they won't leave. They won't leave, they're all staying there. There's a reason why. It's the feeling they get. It's the feeling. In New York, when I was living in New York, my room was as wide as a single bed is long. That was my room, right? And I used to walk in and we had one desk and one bed and that's it, single bed. This was 10 years ago. 1,500 a month for that. Right? Well, you couldn't put a double bed in there, no way, it wouldn't fit. Then I'd have to take out the desk and not be able to open the door. Okay, I'd have to take out the door too, because the door opened in the room, so I wouldn't be able to open it. 1,500 a month, but I was in New York. I was in New York. I would walk the streets and have this feeling, there's this feeling that those cities have that you can't get in, like, let's say Dubai. I love Dubai. But you walk the streets and you're like, where's the next coffee shop? Right? There's nothing there on the streets. No energy coming out of the pavement. Nothing at all. Just beautiful, clean, big, and that's it. Okay, it's nice. When's the next flight out? You know, that's what I said, literally. Both times I went there. It's beautiful, I love it, yes, but which way is the airport? Right? But you go to London and you forget which way the airport is. You forget. And London has 5 airports. Right? You forget. You're like, this is it. I'm home. I'm all right now. So do it. Do it. Just do it. Just do it. For the people listening on YouTube, sorry I'm advertising London so much. I promise I am not getting paid for this. Okay, any other questions before we close it? Yes?
I'm not sure about the question, but the thing is, I feel drawn to so many countries I want to go to. So how do I make the decision on what's the best country for me to grow?
I feel drawn to so many countries I want to go to. Write all the countries down in a little piece of paper, each paper, one country. Put them in a bowl, mix them up, and then say universe, or say higher self. Which one would make you happier? And then put your hand in and get one. But make sure you only write the countries that you really want to go, not the countries that other people told you are nice. Because a lot of people say, you know, go to so-and-so country, it's beautiful. It was for you, but it might not be for me. So make sure the ones where you really feel something when you hear the country. Right? All my life when I was young, I would hear countries like America, Turkey, and Persia. In Greek we call Iran Persia. And I would feel something. And I knew I was going to go there one day. I went to America for 6 months on a 6-month visa, and I stayed 14 years illegally. It was my country. It was my country. I couldn't leave. It was my country. I went to Turkey for 10 days. I stayed 4 years. And I'm avoiding going to Iran because I know I won't leave. So even though I've been invited to go there for seminars by someone I met in Turkey, I said, yes, okay, later. Because I know that if I felt like that as a kid, I know I will go there and feel at home. There's something there for me. It could be a past life, it could be I don't know what. So I'm avoiding Iran. I've done all the other countries around there and I'm avoiding Iran. Because I think I'm too busy now to stay in just one country. So write them down and pick one and go. But only the ones you really feel. Okay, and that's it.